Welcome back, guys, to Let's Talk with Tiff. I'm Tiffanie, and I want to thank you for joining me for another episode. I also want to remind you guys to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate your support. So let's dive right in. This one, guys, I'm going to ask you a question right off the bat. Is therapy the answer? Is it the answer? We live in a world where when something is wrong, we go see a therapist. We go maybe to a psychiatrist. We go talk to a counselor. In the sense of therapy, what I'm saying is therapy the answer? Is it the answer to go and have counsel from another person? Let's break down what therapy really is there to offer you. We know that therapy typically is a one-on-one session with you, right? You and the therapist, the counselor, whoever's in that position, that seat. We also know that people go to therapy for tons of different reasons. Okay, we know that they can go for pain, if they're willing. We know that they can go for trauma, and trauma can look different for everybody, right? Trauma can be based around all kinds of different abuse. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse. Trauma comes in many forms, so does pain, depending on how we process it in our unconscious, our mind, okay? So keep that in mind. People will also go seek therapy for grief. Maybe you've lost someone because they got sick, lost someone because there's been a regression, lost someone because there's been an accident and they're not there anymore cognitively. There's many ways to have loss, and grief can show up in many ways. Could be a massive divorce, breakup. Grief will show up in many ways. We know this. It could be because of recovery. I sought therapy at one point in my life because I was going through recovery from drugs and alcohol. It seemed like the natural next right step. Go see a therapist, go talk to somebody. So yes, therapy could be there for someone that's going through recovery. Recovery from many things, but for drugs and alcohol specifically, I have a lot of friends that I've met along the way that they have therapists. You can also just go for any sort of mental health dysfunction, dysregulation. We see people go to therapy because they're depressed. We see people go to therapy because they are sad, maybe not depressed even clinically, but they will go because they recognize that there is sadness showing up. They go to therapy for anxiety. Okay, a lot of people will go for that. Try and understand where is it coming from, right? They'll seek therapy for all kinds of disorders. We've seen it in OCD, where therapists will try to walk them through tools and methods on how to change the behavior. So they're not looking for the obsession. It doesn't happen in the mind and it becomes ritualistic. In order for them to regulate, they have to perform the behavior in order to move on. We've seen it show up in many ways. So OCD can be something that people will seek therapy for. We've seen it for phobias. People will seek therapy for phobia so they can learn how to face whatever it is that they fear. So all of these things, if you pay attention, at the core of them, there's a piece from inside where they are lacking wholeness from within. So when you go to therapy, you're seeking therapy essentially to find some sort of a solution. You're looking for a solution, you're looking for a way to function normally. We want to be healthy in our life. So we will seek therapy, and these could be reasons why, which is why I feel it is worth asking the question, is therapy the answer? And so I've taught here on my channel how everything is spiritual. Now that we understand, right, all the reasons, and there's probably so much more, I'm just covering a few here, on why a person might go to therapy. And it's worth asking the question, is therapy the answer? Well, I want to help remind you guys and encourage here. What we are actually looking at is a lack of wholeness from within. And we also know that everything is spiritual. So something about the human condition, because we have a mind, it looks to seek counsel, help, find a way, healing even, outside of itself. The human mind, the body is always looking to go, right? Do something. No. Well, remember, the place of healing, you can apply through therapy. You can apply tools. You can apply methods on yourself. The therapist can teach you how to do this in order to achieve that. You can have a good listener in therapy. Therapists sit there. They listen to you for 1 hour, potentially, depending on whatever it is that you know, your insurance may cover. Insurance is another factor. And you have a good listener in front of you. And most therapists, they will validate experiences, feelings that you have. So you know you'll be listened to, you know that you will be validated potentially. Maybe even in some cases, you'll get a diagnosis. And this is tricky, guys, because I've seen this happen even within myself. You can go to therapy to searching for something, and then you maybe get this diagnosis, and then what, right? What now? They tell you tools, they give you tools, they give you methods, they coach you essentially on new ways to think, how to process a thought, the dialogue from within. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a big one. And so they really have you examine the thought. However, I want to remind you guys, again, going back to this being a lack of wholeness from within, and at the core of us, what are we really trying to do? We are trying to heal from the pain. We are trying to heal from the trauma, right? The abuse, the grief, the recovery, whatever mental health dysregulation that shows up for you. The ultimate goal here is to be on the path of healing. So I want to remind you guys that therapists are people. Therapists are people. Psychiatrists, yes, they are doctors, but they are people. And God is God. Now I want to, let's talk about God for a second. God is a healer. He is a healer. And I want to help you guys see that when you go to God, you have, first of all, undivided attention with God. If you pursue Him, and not only do you have that, but this costs you nothing. It doesn't even cost you 1 penny to pursue God and have a relationship and take your pain, take your trauma, take your recovery, take your grief, take your mental health dysregulation and dysfunction to God. It costs you nothing to do this. Well, you will need some faith. So at the most, it's going to cost some faith and trusting Him. But in the real sense of this world, the reality of this world, there's no dollar amount to take to God to pay for it. It's free. He's right in there. And you also have a 100% chance of healing, being on the path to healing. When you go to therapy, I want to help you guys see that because we are dealing with two humans, person to person, right? There is that chance for interference that comes from the mind, because you are getting help essentially from somebody with enough, even though they are a trained professional, no disrespect to their education, the time they spent to learn it, whether it's getting a master's degree or a PhD, or, they are even medically trained through med school. No disrespect to any of that. But what I want to help you guys see is that they're human with a mind. This realm has access to every human mind, the unconscious. It does this. It is real, and you risk the chance of interference. And so we have to see that. We have to know that. Humans helping humans is exactly that. God helping you is the way. There is a 100% chance of healing, 100% chance of precision and accuracy on what is wrong, what is going on inside of you. And you have a 100% chance of being put on the path of what is actually meant for you. The best way for you to heal. In therapy, there's a lot of troubleshooting that goes on. Therapists, because they are people, yes, they are trained professionals, but they're human. And they can spend a lot of time in therapy. It can take up to 4 sessions before they are even opening the book to consider diagnosis. It takes like 4, 6 sessions, up to 6, just to get to know your client, your patient, and really get a feeling, a foundation of who they are, why are they there, what is this working like inside of them, before you can even dive into some diagnosis. And then you risk the troubleshooting that you're going to go through with them, misdiagnosis, right? We see a lot of that. There so much in psychology and in this diagnostic manual, they are very similar, these traits. And to get the proper diagnosis is difficult. It is hard to find a good therapist. It is hard to even find a doctor that doesn't want to give you just medication and medicate you, not maybe take the time to really listen to what's going on. These things are difficult, but one thing I can tell you is God is going to take the time. He's very attentive, and you have a 100% chance of getting this right. There's precision and there is accuracy with God. These are the things that we need to consider as maybe we think about going to therapy and pursuing some sort of tools or method, having somebody there to listen to us and validate us. Validation is tricky, you guys, and I say that because the mind is listening. The unconscious goes to therapy with you too. Yep, and it's listening. And once it knows it's being validated, it likes that. And something else I can tell you about the human condition is that it loves being validated. It also loves to complain, and it loves when people sit and listen to it. And so it can easily build strength in the middle of a therapy session. And then you go back repeatedly every single week, and then where is this really going? Right? Where is this really going? Are you on a path to healing, or are you on a path of being listened to, validated, and potentially misguided? Who knows? We just don't know, because humans are humans, and it is no disrespect to any therapist or any physician out there that is practicing medicine, trying to help people. There is no error with God. It is error proof if you pursue Him. 100% chance. I remind you guys, God is a healer. Don't forget that. He lives inside of you. It is a free process. It will cost you not even 1 penny. You have precision and accuracy with God, which is going to lead you to 100%. Okay? You have a 100% chance of being placed on the right path of healing. Something else I know about God is that God's not interested in giving you diagnosis. Okay? That's a human thing. Humans love to give out one more label, one more diagnosis. This is what's wrong with you. No, God doesn't do that. God's interested in the relationship with you, connection with you, facing truth with you, helping you to see and hear, right, the truth, being able to talk about it. He's not interested in telling you what's wrong with you. Oh, you have depression, Tiffanie. He's not interested in that. God's interested in bringing you solution and getting you on the road to facing truth so you can live in consciousness with Him. Okay? It doesn't mean that these things, your mental health dysregulations, are not going to show up. They can, and they definitely will. But when you pursue God as your healer, you're going through the dysregulation of whatever it is that's being triggered, because pain, trauma, grief, abuse, even in many forms, these things are the most common that we experience as human beings. Nobody says they're going away. As long as you live here in a body on earth, most likely you will experience them. However, you can get on the path to pursuing these things with God, your creator, where you have a 100% chance of healing and being put on the right path, where it's not centered around labels and diagnosis and medications necessarily, okay? It's centered around Him, the truth, consciousness, the truth within you, how you hear, how you perceive, how you listen, how you process. God opens that up inside of you. So this is available to anyone that wants it and pursues Him. What I want you guys to see is that this option, whether you take a worldly approach and you go to therapy, you go through people, you go to doctors to go get the help you need for whatever is showing up in your mental health, your life, essentially. That's an option for you. It will always be there. It's not going anywhere. Well, God is an option for you as well. And so is His way. So is His truth, His path that He has for you. Maybe try it out. So I'll ask you again, is therapy the answer? Or can you consider, if you haven't already, putting that on pause and visiting the relationship with God, bringing God in, right? Bringing God in. He's already in you, but inviting Him in to where your pain is, inviting Him into where your trauma is, inviting Him in to how you dysregulate and your dysfunction happens from within the mind. That's what I want to share with you guys, is try out the other option if you're not already, and just know what is available to you. And if it doesn't work, in recovery, we say, try out being sober for 1 year. And if your life doesn't change and you don't become healthier, get better, happier, heal your peace and things from within, then you can gladly be refunded your misery. That's what we say in recovery. We'll gladly give you back your old life. If you want to go be back on drugs and alcohol, it's there. It's always there. That's my point. Therapy with doctors and people and therapists and counsel and whoever, it's always going to be there, right there, okay? It's not going anywhere. However, try out this other way with God. Give it a try, invite Him in, and it's as simple as starting in prayer. That's what you need to know. It's that simple. It starts in prayer, and then you just make it a part of your everyday, all-day life. And you don't have to wait till Tuesday at 3:00 for your therapy appointment to take whatever. And then the therapist is looking at the clock, because they always have one, by the way. It's behind you, right next to you. It's always there, because everything's ran on a clock and you have this much time, and then insurances are involved, and it's $250 a session and all this logistics. There's none of that with God. It's so simple with Him, and it's full of love. And He is listening, undivided attention. Okay, God is excellent listener. He keeps all the records, even the stuff you don't remember, He's got it. Okay, don't worry, He's got it. And that's the good thing about God. It's like therapists, they don't know, they only know what you tell them. So it's definitely one-sided, because they only diagnose based on what you say, And this can't be trusted, because it's working within you too. It deceives the human. You are the host, okay? And so this is why it's so important to bring God in. He's in, but invite Him. Invite Him into your heart now. So I've done this process, you guys. I left therapy behind. I never took medications. It never felt right in my heart, to do that. And I have made God my everything. Okay, He is a full package deal for me. And I love God with all of my heart, and he's always been there for me. And you know, it's not just a for me thing. This is for you too, if you want it. So there's going to be some work involved, but it's as simple as starting out in prayer. He will guide you. All you got to do is be curious, have an open mind, have an open heart, and invite him in. He'll take care of the rest. 100% chance, people. That's a pretty good deal, if you ask me. So that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much. And I hope that speaks to you. So thanks.